company was established on 11th March 1994 between myself and a friend by name John Coben. Sadly, John passed away some few years ago. We started the company with a seed capital of £20,000, which the gentleman whose picture is above here, who I had never met, Dale had been selling generators into this country for years, but at some point, the agreement between them and their rep at that time was terminated. So for 2 years, they had no representation. So the purpose of me going to the UK with my wife in the early part of 1994 was through an invitation I received from the then sales manager of Dale Power Solutions. Keith mentioned me to Mr. Ian Dale and told him that having seen the way we've worked together in this country, I would be able to represent Dale Power Solutions. After a short discussion, Mr. Dale sends me back, myself and my wife, back to the hotel that we should go and put a business plan together so that he can understand what we need and how he can help us. So here we went back to the hotel. The next morning, I went back and I put before him what we've managed to put down. We said we would need £30,000 to start. In his generosity, Mr. Yandale looked at me and said, "Godfrey, you don't need a brand new car. Why don't you go and manage yourself with a second-hand car? I'll give you a check for £20,000. So somebody had never met. That first meeting was the previous day. The second day, he instructed his financial director to write us a check for £20,000. The £20,000 is what we are all witnessing today. The company, the G is the initial of my first name. The J is for John, my late friend. But then as a young company, we face a challenge. After trading for just 18 months, John comes to me one day to say that, "Godfrey, I would like to step back." The issue was John had a business to run, so perhaps he felt that he should give his own company a bit more attention. So that was the first jolt. But when this happened, I had a colleague friend whose name is James Edu. So I invited James to join me. So I lost a John and I replaced him with a James. And I must say, for the past 29 years or so that we've worked, I'm yet to see a loyal friend like James.
I joined G&J on the invitation of the founder, Mr. Godfrey Asiedu. When I joined Pasico, he was my immediate boss. So for 4 years we worked together. We became friends. We became like a family. And I didn't join because of the future or what he was going to do. I joined because he was somebody I had worked with for 4 years. He had become more of a friend and a family than a working partner. And I thought that the sort of atmosphere we had working together was going to be a good recipe for us to work together into the future.
Most of our customers who have been with us for years know how we started. It was a 13 by 13 feet building. That's where we had the office. Thankfully, within 18 months, we had been able to pay back the £20,000 loan and also sold the stock sets that he sent us. One of those stock sets, a 40 kVA, went to my good old friend, Mr. Ishmael Akolache. And I'm proud to say that that generator is still operating. I remember when we turned 25 years old, 5 years ago, I went to Mr. Akolache and I told him, "Mr. Akolache, you have to do me a favor." He said, "Geoffrey, what is it?" And I said, "Can I please give you a brand new 45 kVA?
The machine I got, the way The machine is still performing up to today. They came to see it, and the company would like to get it back and give you a new one with a new technology. But I say, I'm sorry. I prefer the old machine because the oldies, the goodies.
Because Ghanaians are discerning when it comes to quality, they knew we stood for something different from what was known on the market.
And the quality of machines they give us has been fantastic. And I believe that with the brands that they've been giving us over the years, there's no need to change. I think all their brands are European brands, and we are happy with them.
We have been with G&J as long as G&J has been established, since day one. And I think, if my memory is right, we were the first hospitality company that G&J got contracts with.
That was the beginning with our relationship with hotels.
I've worked with them over the years, and they are professional engineers. When they come into your machine, no matter the state, the machine will work.
Generator, of course, everybody can sell a generator, but keeping it running is the most important thing. Because when power fails here and generator doesn't pick, then it's like you are just having a toy. And that's what we felt that G&J was capable of doing. They had a very good 24-hour service. I don't think we have any other supplier when it comes to generators with Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Our sole this is G&J Technical Services Limited.
What comes to mind is gratitude. If I look back at the tiny office we started from and how far we have come with the business, is by God's grace. So I'm very grateful to God, and all I can say is the gratitude.
You know, when we started, we were virtually three. Myself, Mr. Asiedu, Mrs. Asiedu, and then others who were doing other things. Because the numbers wasn't that large, we were all obliged to do everything. And that gave us the opportunity to learn every aspect of the company. So it was easy for us to grow people into the business.
I joined G&J in the year 2004, August.
I joined 4th February 1998.
I joined the family business in 2019 of September, and right when I moved back from school in the university in the UK, just to come and help and support the family business and take the legacy forward.
I joined the company in 2005 as an intern, and then was fully employed in 2006, yes, as a secretary, and then I've risen through the ranks. I'm now the sales admin.
Working at G&J is more or less a training ground. The day in and day out, you learn a lot of new things to enrich your life.
Because if it is finance, we had experience. If it is debt collection, we had experience. If it is going to site, we had experience. If it is delivering G&J'S to site, we had an experience. And that composite experience is something that you cannot easily get anywhere.
My childhood dream is to work with plants. So over here, the main work I do here is just that.
I joined G&J Technical Services in the